Timons, when he was introduced, I was really excited about his skills. So let's see what he can do. Hello everyone, Shinobi here once again with another Awaken Chaos Era video. A warm welcome to all my viewers, particularly those 484 awakened subscribers. You are my encouragement, you are my strength. I do need your support, so hit that subscribe button if you have not already subscribed. Do like my video and if possible, share my video. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Timons. So this is my Timons, the wonderful guy in deep diver uniform. I do not have any ascensions on him. I have not done any masteries on him. I have finished gearing him up and gave him glyphs and ability. As you can see, his base stats are pretty low. He has got an A tier attack, B tier speed. That means gearing him up is a bit difficult. Okay, so because of his low speed and because of his trade, I have decided to give him extremely low speed but concentrate more on attack and damage because I'm not going to use him everywhere. I'm going to use him only in a couple of areas, and so I'm like concentrating more on his attack. I wanted to use him in VTH, in Void Tower Hard, but because of that low speed, in current Void Tower iteration, he is going to be a big problem for me to actually gear him up and also ensure a good enough damage. And therefore, at the moment, at this month, I'm not concentrating on him on Void Tower Hard. Let's first look at his trait and then I'll tell you why I decided to go slow speed. So as you know, his trait is when an ally attacks an elite or boss and there are more than 3 enemies alive, so you need more than 3 enemies. If there are 4 enemies and one of them die, then obviously he is not going to proc this trait. So if 3 or more enemies are alive, Timon launches a bonus attack with the ultimate ability. So that's why I have decided to give him low speed, because I do not have a need for him to go in and deal the ultimate immediately. And he will anyhow proc that ultimate and get the full damage out of it. And so I decided not to give him any speed. Alright, and so what does his ultimate do? It deals 100% damage to all enemies, and if all of the enemies are alive, if more than 3 enemies are alive, then he can do that a second time if an ally attacks, and that can be done up to a maximum of 3 times within 1 round. So this bonus attack does not have any connection with that cooldown over there. That's when he takes his turn. Okay, when he takes his turn, he will do his ultimate, and that goes on cooldown for 3 turns. When the next round comes in and ally attacks and there are 4 enemies alive, he will do his ultimate. And that's why he is these skills are excellent skills. The only problem is I wanted a little bit more attack on him, but that's okay. So let's look at his gear. He can be geared in avarice set, in assassin set, but then because we are relying more on the AoE of the hero, it's preferable to give him an avarice set. If you are giving him an assassin set, as you can see here, if you are giving him an assassin set, this set will only give 15% bonus damage against the main target. That 15% is guaranteed. The rest 35% of damage that you can deal to the main target has got a 50% chance to proc. Okay, so it's an additional damage only to the main target, and because Timons is going to anyhow do his ultimate every round, I think like an average set is much more preferable for him. You can also use a curse set, but then he's not going to do proc an additional bonus turn when an ally attacks, and he does an ultimate. He's not going to proc a additional bonus turn. So as far as Timons is concerned, the best gear that you can give him at the moment is an avarice set. Okay, In exceptional cases, if you're going against like one target, you can give him assassin set, but then it's not going to proc his trait, so there is no point in giving him an assassin set. With regards to the overall stats that I had given him, he has got 5207 attack. You can see that's the reason why I have given him such low speed. Even though his attack is so high, his crit damage is only 234. Okay, so that was a trade-off I chose between, should I give him 4200 attack and 270 crit damage, or should I give him 5200 attack and 234 crit damage. I chose to give him more attack and a little bit lesser crit damage. So if you're aiming for less than 250 crit damage, you should be able to easily get 5200 attack. As I said, I do not have any masteries on him. I have not done ascensions on him, and you can see I have got only epic gear, and they are all like avarice set here: attack, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, attack percent, crit damage, crit rate. So, and a broken set, right? So that's what I'm using on him, an epic kind of a set, and a sorry, not a broken set, my mistake. So an 50% attack necklace and a 50% attack boots, right? And a 50% attack ring. So that's why I have 5200 attack on him, because all the lower gear are attack percent, and I have managed to get all the crit rate required from the gear, even though they are mostly epic. Right, so let's quickly look at where we are going to use him, and then we will talk about at what levels, at what stage you can keep on using him. Obviously, as Timons is a water affinity, he is going to be a strong affinity in Ash Magisteria. So I'm going to do Ash Magisteria Hell Stage 2 with a fully epic team. So let's quickly look at the team. I've got Santes, I've got Jonathan, I've got Hazel, and then Timmons here. So Timmons' role over here is to clear the waves and the fire imp, and Santes is going to place the poisons and try to deal those max HP damage on everybody. Jonathan is there to tank, provide the shield, and place the defense down and attack down. Hazel there is there to heal and cleanse. So that's the main role there. And Hazel, obviously, if somebody does an attack 4 times within the round, she is going to place a stun, and which is very beneficial for us. Like, I can actually benefit from that stun, and so that's why I'm using my Hazel. Like, she has got that additional benefit by stunning the people. So yeah, so overall this team is like a consistent kind of a team in which Timmons plays the role of clearing the waves and ensuring that we reach the boss without any problem, and also ensuring that the fire imps do not cause us any problems. And that's all possible simply because of his trait. If he did not have that kind of a trait there, if he did not have that wonderful AoE damage dealing ultimate, then it would have been extremely difficult for us to reach this stage. You would have required a Natalia to reach here, okay, and your Natalia would have had to be a little bit more faster. So I think like my strategy of using a slow speed Timon for this stage, I think is really useful, because I do not care about him being, not being able to attack before the mobs move, because my Timons will anyhow deal damage from his ultimate when someone hit the boss and there are 3 or more enemies alive. So I think like it is a good enough method of dealing with Hell Stage 2, such that you will be able to keep farming your avarice set, your speed sets, your raider sets, and to get those sets you do require Timons to go in. Someone like Timons will help you to reach that Hell Stage 4 and get those at least those epic gears and those legendary gear, 1 or 2 legendary gear. So as you saw, I have got only epic gears on him, and they were all farmed before the Hell Stage 15 or 16 came through, 4 or 5 came through. So even those epic kind of a gear will be helping you in reaching those in farming for better gear, right? So you can keep on farming better gear, and it takes time. It obviously takes time for you to get better gear. I've been playing this game for like more than a year, and that's why I have that kind of gear. And even then, my gear is not the whale gear kind of thing. It is not what the end game people use. They use, like, for them, Timons would be having like 6,000 attack. For me, 5,000 attack, and that's enough for me. That's all that I'm asking for from him, because he's not expected to go before the mobs. He's only expected to be there and deal that ultimate using his trait, and he does that job wonderfully well. I'm pretty happy with the skills that he has, especially for those players who want to farm the Hell Stages and get those better gears instead of farming the 12. So I think, like, if you are getting Timons, I would certainly recommend building him up, but you do not require him to be ascended. There is not much difference between an ascension and a normal trade. So as you saw, we were able to finish off this run without anybody dying, and if you look at the overall damage, Timons obviously dealt the most damage because he was clearing the waves. Let's quickly also look at the adventure stage and see how he is helping us in finishing it off. So if you're farming Mythic stage and you want to finish off your 10-8, which is part of your quest, and you want to use Timons, so can we use Timons in that team? So I'm using my Hitoshi, which is a starter hero, Jonathan, Sacred Winstrix, and Timons. Jonathan, obviously, again, I'm using him for his defense downs and for his attack downs. Sacred Winstrix will improve my damage, and she will also heal me. Of course, she doesn't have that kind of a damage that I would have liked her to have, and her HP is not that high as of now. But then I do have my Timons there to deal those ultimates that will help me in finishing off the mobs, right? So she's there, and what is Winstrix flashing? She's flashing now. Okay, so Jonathan will go ahead and deal all those defense down, and so I'm also getting sufficient ultimates from my Timons, such that I'm able to survive this. And Jonathan there will also be able to help me in tanking this floor, as he will be there to provide me those shields. That is very crucial for me to be able to survive this floor. Okay, this Nicholas over here, he is a beast. So if you're not able to take out his unkillable, then you will not be able to finish him. So with a purely epic team, you can finish off Mythic stage 10-8 without any problem, and with Timons helping you in clearing the waves. So let's talk about at what stage we can use him. From what I have tested in higher levels, higher stages, I do think that if you're using someone like Shane, someone like Clarence, and have got really good DPSs in addition to Timons, you would be able to clear off the fire rims in Ash stage 15, 16 without any problem, and you should be able to farm higher levels, but you do have Natalia for that. Okay, if you get Natalia, she will be dealing much more damage than what Timons can do, because his role would only be to clear off those fire rims, and even in adventure stages it's just the same thing. So what I think is that if you're getting Timons early on in your game, if you're getting Timons at mid game, he will help you to reach that higher level, to reach that Hell stage 1, 2, and then let you farm those higher level gears, and then you will be able to build up your other heroes. So for me, Timons is someone who is an early game and mid game hero rather than a very end game hero, because his damage, unfortunately, because of that damage and his base attack and his base speed being so low, it makes his utility much lesser. And if they had improved his overall damage for his ultimate to say around 140 to 150%, which reduces 30% every time he procs it, and his attack was around 1400 to 1500 attack, maybe something similar to that of Natalia, or even Hitoshi, then I think like you could have used him in end game Ash Magisteria, in end game stuff consistently without having any problem. But as of now, I do believe that he is a very good hero for early game, mid game players. They can certainly build him up, take him to level 60 and then use him in those hell stages, in those early hell stages, to get the better gear, finish off your mythic levels, because he will anyhow proc his ultimate. Don't give him any speed, give him more damage, give him more HP, give him more attack, give him more crit damage. That's what you have to give him. Lower down your speed on him, because you're not using him to go and hit first. You're using him to proc that ultimate, and he will anyhow do that at least 3 times, depending upon how many enemies are alive. So that's what I think Timons can do from whatever test I have done. So what do you think about this video? Let me know in the comments. I will look forward for your comments. So until next time, peace, love, and blessings to all of you. Bye.